Can y'all hear the siren? I think he's coming back closer, maybe. I don't know if y'all can hear the siren, but the siren is going off synced again. The sirens are always going off synced every time I hear a siren. So they're at it again. And then, right when I started the live stream, my neighbor flushed his toilet. So they're at it again with the sirens and all the other things. They're at it again. They be walking up sick. They be walking up sick. Welcome to on that last video, there was a bunch of synced birds, and then there was a synced squirrel. I think I caught it, and I think the male guy was getting in the van behind it at the same time, or something like that. Somebody was getting in a car behind it or something, and it was like running up to the sidewalk. It was like crossing the street, synced with me, and running up on the sidewalk next to me when I got across the street. Like down the street from me, behind, or like in between me and the male guy. And then there was that white car that pulled up synced and opened her door. Just sat there for a long time, and then opened her door right when I walked by her, and then she got out and she had a red shirt and red pants on. There's a lot of weird shit that happened in the last video, and every video. There's a lot of weird shit going on, right? And then the one video this morning, there's a bunch of silver cars, and then I was seeing a bunch of silver cars still in that last video. But it was like mostly whiteies, I think, though, or something. I don't know. There's a lot of sync, though. I know that. So, that was the first siren of the day, I think. Yeah, that was the first siren of the day. And it drove like right by my apartment, and there's this one white car syncing with this white van pulling up next to me that's always synced and parks directly next to my apartment building. And then I saw the Window World car, and it was synced again. The whitey Window World truck. So they be walking up there. They're still walking up there. See a bunch of cars walking up there. And I heard this bird out there was like, and I think it was synced with this guy getting out of the whitey van next to me, and then there's this car driving by with a 22 license plate, and I hear this engine sound farting at the same time he drives by me. And then he's gonna sync again when he gets to the edge of the parking lot.
I think the AC thing outside my apartment turned off synced with him getting to the edge of the parking lot. And then he's driving out as a bird flies up in front of him, in between me and him in the car. Flies like straight up in the air and then flies directly over my head. And then I heard these banging sounds too that were at the same time.
Walking up, see. So, and it's like pretty much every video, like when I record during the day, there's a lot of synced birds. Like, I don't always catch them. Like, sometimes I'll point my camera at them and I won't actually catch them, but I think I did because they're just flying by really fast. But, like, I do catch a lot of them, though. And it's like every day, like every video, pretty much. The birds be walking up, flying up, they be walking up, seeing too. The birds, they literally be walking up, seeing. And they be flying up, seeing. And they be chirping up, seeing. I just heard my neighbor cough. That's true. Like right when I paused it again, I heard my neighbor cough. Walking up, seeing. I don't see anything outside. There's no cars driving by. Is this what it looks like when I'm not looking out my window? There's just nothing out here. I don't see anybody.
They're like, oh shit, we thought he was gonna sit down longer. Oh fuck, send a sync. Hurry, go, 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 go. There's 2 sync cars right now. They're synced. There's the sync. And I hear people talking, and it's probably synced with the cars. And they're coming out to the semi truck that's just been sitting out here, and then they're gonna unload it synced, I bet. There's a guy walking up sync. He's walking through this place where they sync, and there's a truck, there's a whitey truck driving through the intersection behind him with a trailer with a bobcat on it, and then there's a guy in the truck made a slamming sound, synced with them, I think. And then there's these 2 black cars meeting each other at the intersection, see? Or no, they're not both black, but they're both synced though. My bad. They were synced though. There's a piglet. There's a piglet, and there's someone walking, and there's all these red cars that are all red and all synced. And then there's another red car synced with the last red car as he gets to the intersection. And then there's a truck beeping. Oh, it's a semi truck. He's backing up. I think he's doing it synced.
Is he gonna be walking up, seeing? The semi truck is backing up. He's backing up. And then there's this banging sound outside, and then my refrigerator, I think, turned off or something. Made a sound at the same time.
And it was right when the truck trailer like got to this place where they always sink. Right when the back of the truck trailer got there, it was when that happened. And then there's a whitey taking off on the street or like doing a U-turn on the street, and there's another car going through the intersection behind the truck as the truck part of the truck backed up in front of the intersection, and then he's stopping, synced with two cars driving. He's stopping in front of the corner of the building as these two cars sync at the corner of the building behind it, and then he started backing up again he stopped, and then he started backing up again as the heater on my wall clicked, and then these other cars on the street were probably synced with him too. And he's in a white semi, and he's probably gonna do whitey sinks or some shit. And he's walking up. Like the door of the trailer, he's like unloading it from the side of the trailer, and the door of it is like directly to the left of my window, basically. Kind of like almost there. So I got in front of it a little bit, but it's like right next to me, pretty much. Like I think it's strategically right next to me. Like the place that he's delivering to is right there, though, you know. But like I think it's strategically right there, though. Because he looks like he's walking up sync, and it's probably a walking up sync thing. And then he just like reparked the truck again. I don't know. He's probably synced again with these cars on the street. And then as he's opening opening the ramp, you heard it. It's really loud. There was a silver car turning in the parking lot at the same time, and then there was a whitey behind him at the same time in the background. And then there's all these other cars synced, and there was a FedEx synced. As the silver car parked in the parking lot, these other cars synced with it. And then a tan car came up and pulled in the parking lot, and he's probably synced. His lights turned off right as the guy walks up to the passenger door of the truck and opens it. And then a whitey car drove out, and he's getting to the intersection as he closes the door on the truck, on the semi. And they be walking up sync, walking up sync. He's be walking up. They're still walking up. I still see them. There's a bunch of them. They're walking up. He's be walking up sync. I see black synchead cars, and I see these synchead people walking out at the same time, and they both got camo on today. They both got the camo on. Usually just the one guy has the camo on. And there's a whitey driving behind them as they walk through the sync place that they sync at. And then the AC thing outside my apartment turned on at the exact same time as that. And then this car that just pulled up and parked synced a minute ago just took off again off the side of the street. Probably just sat there and then took off again, never got out of it. And I think it was right as the camo sync heads were walking between me and the car that it took off. But I was looking at other sync heads on the street that are also all synced. So I got distracted. I didn't see that sync. But I saw like right after those, so I think that's exactly what happened. But I don't know exactly what happened, but it was synced though. Whatever happened, it was synced. Maybe it synced with a whitey instead or something, but it was still synced though. So whatever happened, I can rest assured that it was synced.
And then they've been making a bunch of banging sounds outside. There's a siren again, and there's a piglet outside sinking with a whitey and a bunch of other cars. There's the siren again. Is he gonna drive back the other way at the siren, or is it a different siren, or what? I heard a car honk right when I opened the window. It was like hitting its lock button. This is this is the sync heads with the camo. They're taking off in their car as the siren sound is switching up. The AC thing outside my apartment is turned on sync. Did you hear it turn on? It was synced with the cars. I don't think the siren's coming over this way this time. I think it's just a distant siren sync that time. I don't think he's coming close this time. The guys walked up in the ramp of the truck, and there's this white truck parking in the parking lot at the same time, and there's a white car driving by the street, and there's a white truck driving by the street, and the white truck that parked, I think he opened his door and then slammed it when the white truck drove in front of his truck. And then when it drives around the corner, he's taking off again in the white truck, or is he reparking it? He backed up. Okay, he's driving forward again as a car drives through the intersection behind him. And then he's sitting there, this door cracked open, and he's slowly parking again. He's just like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's doing a bunch of sync maneuvers, I think. There's people walking out. He's getting out of the whitey truck as another whitey truck drives in front of him the other way than the other one that drove in front of him. Like he slammed his door with the one white truck, and then he got out of the white truck when another one drives the other way in front of him, you know? And then there's a bunch of cars driving out synced. And there's another white SUV coming, parking in the parking lot, and there's another car taking off out of the parking lot at the same time as parking. Then there's someone walking out synced as it starts to drive forward. And then it's parking synced with other cars. There's another car taking off the side of the street that's silver, and there's a silver truck behind it, and then they're meeting each other synced with silver cars. And then they're getting out of the whitey as a tail lift drives behind it. That was a white SUV that parked synced. And then there's a bunch of other synced cars, and I hear someone walking by in the hallway that's probably synced. And then, like, I think it was this morning or last night, or I think it was today, there was somebody that, like, and they'll do this, like, occasionally, there's, like, somebody, like, walking the hallway, like, they're, like, stomping or whatever. They're just, like, they just, like, try to make you feel paranoid and shit, and just, like, and they'll just, like, stop walking right in front of my door and shit, and, like, there's someone, I think they're walking a dog, and I think they're synced with this white car getting to the intersection. I think they had a dog. And then when I was walking home from the last video, there were these whiteys that pulled up when I got to the street, and, like, I'm looking down at my phone, like, I'm just, like, posting the video on Facebook or whatever. And, like, they, you know, it's like right as I'm crossing the street, there's whiteys driving by on the street. So like the first one just drives by, and then the second one like stops and just like stops to let me pass, but I just stop walking just to let it go through, you know. And then they just sit there. I'm just looking down at my phone, just ignoring it, and they just sit there, and then they honk at me, synced, like as I'm like clicking something on my phone, they honk, and then they just sit there for a couple seconds, and then they start driving again. It's like, you're in my way, dude. You go. Have you ever noticed that the 2020 quarters have bats on them? The 2020 quarter had bats. 2020 quarter has bats on it. Like it came out before the cold flu 84. It came out before that. So who knows what's gonna happen next, or when it's gonna happen, or what's gonna happen. Who knows, man? I think I just heard some sync sound through the walls right now. And they were tapping again this morning. They did that some point this morning. I forgot. And I just heard some sound through the walls. I think it was synced. I don't know. And then I heard a sound outside. It was like, I think it was synced, but I don't know. It's probably in the back of the truck trailer. He's closing the ramp now. Is he gonna do it sync? Right when he walks away from it, the thing outside, the AC outside my apartment turned on. Right when he walked away from the ramp after he closed it. I think it was a sync. And then he's gonna get back in the truck now, and right as he walks around it, Whitey is driving out behind him as he walks around it. It's parked in front of the corner of the building, remember, and the Whitey drove out from behind it when he walked around the truck. See? And then someone, they're getting back in the white van, I think. I heard a car door open. It's like doo 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 doo. I don't know what car it is. Is it the truck maybe? I don't know. Oh yeah, it was the van. He's taking off. And I see a bunch of whiteys on the street, and someone's walking up to a car, and they're opening the car door as the white van drives in front of the car behind it. And then there's a blue car driving out as they close the red car door, and then the semi is stopped in the parking lot, and then this bird is flying over, synced with the white van driving out, and then there's a bunch of cars synced on the street, and then there's a bunch of black and silver cars synced on the street, and then there's a green car synced with the black car, and then
And then there's a whitey synced with the green car. And then the semi. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, there he goes. I think he was just waiting for all the stalkers to pass so he could finally go. Alright, he's driving out on the street now with the semi. The AC thing outside my apartment is turning on as he does. There's all these cars that look synced. I think the semi synced with this red car and this white truck driving out. I see more red cars that look synced. And then the AC thing outside my apartment turned on and the white truck drove around the corner. The white pickup truck that synced with the semi. And then the white pickup truck has his hazard lights on. And I think he's syncing with the thing outside my apartment again and a bunch of cars too. This bunch of stock tarted MK Ultra Syncs out here. It's a bunch of chemtrails too. I see a lot of chemtrails today. It's chemtrailed up. Yesterday and today is chemtrailed up. And I see more sync heads and they're synced. So, something else I was going to talk about, I think, but I'll probably end the video here, come back with another one in a minute. So stay tuned. Don't sync. There's two red cars syncing in the parking lot right now. One's parking, one's taking off. They're doing a sync clown dance and they're synced. And there's a whitey truck synced with them and they're synced.